Violence in the home is one of the most crippling of social diseases. It not only scars women and children, but also hinders the socio-economic development of whole communities. Our next report takes a look at efforts being made in some countries in the Asia-Pacific region to assist the victims and help change social attitudes.
Kumari cleans houses for a living, to earn money for the upkeep of her family. But with all the hard work she puts into each day, she is denied the rest and peace of mind that she is entitled to when she gets home. Instead, she walks into a barrage of mental and physical abuse from her husband.
He hits me with anything that's in front of him. Sometimes, when we are eating, it is with a utensil or a plate. Sometimes with a stick.
Kumari's story is symptomatic of how the rights of many women in Nepal are so easily violated. The abuse she undergoes only adds to her daily struggle to take care of her family. Individuals like her husband feel their actions are justified because of the prevalent attitude that makes it acceptable to victimize the physically weaker sex.
Yes, wives must be beaten from time to time. They must be stopped, otherwise they will start to cross the limits.
Such attitudes are being challenged by Sati, an organization in Nepal which provides support and temporary shelter to victims of domestic abuse. Its personnel have been trained to counsel those who seek help.
Mostly we try to build their self-confidence. According to our research, all victims have solutions within themselves. As long as they think themselves as weak, they continue to be victimized.
Domestic violence is a very invisible problem in the Asia-Pacific region. Most countries don't collect statistics with regard to domestic violence, so it's hard to determine. Family should be a place where people are nurtured, where there's care, where there's support. It should be a positive environment. When it becomes pathological, at that point the state must step in the longer interest of itself, of the community as well as that particular individual. One has to see that violence of any sort, including domestic violence, is a social cost. And the costs of violence are first that women cannot fully participate in the development process, because if they are victims of violence, they suffer certain difficulties. They suffer from psychological difficulties, as well as sometimes physical bruises, etc. And what is important is that society has to then pay for it.
In Malaysia, the Women's Aid Organization offers shelter, protection, counseling and legal advice to battered women. Founded in 1982, the WAO reports that a significant number of women in Malaysia are victims of abuse.
When the battered wives come here, we help them, we counsel them, we give them options, what they want to do, we help them to make a police report, we help them to go to welfare, we sometimes also accompany them to the hospital if they need medical treatment.
Although many organizations have surfaced to combat this problem, they are limited in number and can only reach a small percentage of victims without the help of the governments concerned. In Delhi, India, the problem has necessitated the setting up of a separate telephone hotline in the local police station. Its aim is to reconcile domestic conflicts and, where necessary, direct callers to counseling and legal services. Often, women who call in need more than immediate police intervention.
ये हेल्पलाइन सर्विस 31/5/93 में शुरू की गई है।
We give all kinds of advice. Often we get calls from newly married women tortured by their in-laws. Other cases like that of rape and divorce come here too. Women often cannot discuss such things with men, so they can turn to the hotline for help.
Despite such efforts, the problem isn't adequately dealt with until society as a whole decides to make the needed changes. In addition to legislation which protects the rights of women, communities need to offer a strong support system to the victims of abuse.
Human rights have no gender bias. They are inalienable to everyone, male or female. Whether we choose to respect this as individuals will make all the difference in realizing our potential for development as a global community.